What is up, guys? This is MC300, and I am back with another video. It has been a super long time, so I am excited to finally get some new content to you guys. And I am going to be doing something that has not been on my channel very much. Some of you who might have been with my channel for a long time may have seen the original video I did on this, which, funny story, for the longest time I did not know that it actually had no audio on it. But I found out later that it didn't, and that's why I took it down. So you can't go back and see that, but I'm going to be doing a new Let's Play on this game, and it's actually gotten a lot of new features since I last played it. So we are going to hop in right now. First, you can select your world size. I'm just going to do small. This is going to be a Let's Play, by the way, so I'm going to be doing a lot of videos on this, hopefully, unless I lose very fast, which basically means I go into debt and can't get out of it. I'm going to leave AI off because I just prefer playing that way, because even with only police and not the AI, it's very difficult. So we are just going to hop straight into this. So when you first start, there are a couple things you need to build. You need an employee room, so you can hire people, of course. I'm just going to do what my setup would be, typically. I'm not just spamming random stuff. This is actually how I would regularly build this. You need a restroom, which, if you don't play basement, this allows you to hire employees for your drug den. This allows them to rest if they run out of stamina, because if everyone could just work forever, it would be kind of overpowered. You also need a generator, which gives you backup energy, and is a kind of important part of the game, except, I mean, you only need like 2 or 3 of those, depending on what building you have, maybe even 1. Most buildings you'll need at least 1, unless it's really small, like this one you won't need a generator for. That's actually probably going to be one of the first buildings I take. And then I normally start with production. Oh, right, you also need a storage. And this allows you to store drugs. This is a drug creating and dealing game, if you didn't know that already and couldn't guess by what you see here. And I'm just going to start with a grow room. And my first employee is going to be Jordan. He's going to come in. He's going to go down here. He's going to start making drugs. And I'm just going to let him do that for a while. You can change the speed of your game, which is helpful sometimes if you just want to make drugs or money. So I'm going to put it into ×4 right now. And once he fills up the storage to about right here is when I'm going to actually start selling stuff. So to sell stuff, you need to make 2 rooms. You need, or not 2 rooms, well, you need to do 2 things. You need the dealer room right here, which you can get a bunch of different ones. Some are more expensive than others, and really the only thing you want to look at is the customers. Energy doesn't matter that much. Customers is the only thing that changes, and customers basically means how many people can hang around here and buy stuff from you. Because if unlimited people just came and you could sell them stuff, you'd make a lot of money. And that's how it used to be, actually. At least I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to start selling now. Walter is going to be my seller. So he's just going to get to work right here. And I'm just going to wait and talk to you guys a little bit while I get some money going. So it used to be that you could just get unlimited people just lining up and just round the clock just sell drugs like that. But now it is based off your dealer rooms. So this thing has 3 customers, which means if I only have one of these, only 3 people will hang around. And if I sell drugs to all of them in a day, they're not going to come back, which means I can only make a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time. Which gets annoying sometimes. If you have a money goal and you're really close, you're like 1 away, but no one's lining up, and then the day resets and you have to start all over again, that can be kind of annoying. So I think I'm going to get up to 3,500 before I make my next move, which is going to be to build another one of these, because as you can see here, this is where it shows you your employees. I already have 2, which is the limit for just this room. You can upgrade it so that it gives you one more, but for $200, it's like more efficient to just buy this. Which, like, the point of having the upgrade is if you run out of space in a building, which I won't because this is way bigger than I need it to be, you can just upgrade the ones you have to get extra slots. I'm pretty sure that's the idea behind that. So the move I'm going to make now is to buy another dealer room. Because as you can see, even though I have someone selling, he's still filling it up more and more, which means my production is more than my selling or whatever. So Willie is going to be my second dealer. A little piece of strategy for you guys. People in hazmat suits always have good production. His is 0.9. Normally it's around 1. So those are the guys you want to have growing the stuff. But when it comes to people selling the stuff, sellability, which used to be a statistic, like how fast they can sell, is no longer a thing. So basically you just want the cheapest people, and those are either these guys, which are $300 to buy and they're $30 a day, or these guys, which are the same price. So you want them. I think the cheapest people used to be, okay, well I don't have one in here, but there used to be ones that had no main characteristic, but those are actually slightly more expensive than these. They're $350, I think, and I'm not sure what their daily salary is, but I'm pretty sure it's like $35. So yeah, that's basically it. I prefer to buy these guys because I personally would not buy anything from a person wearing a goddamn hazmat suit. Like, let me know in the comment section if you trust people wearing hazmat suits, but I really don't. I mean, sure, if you're buying drugs, you probably don't have huge standards for who you're buying from, but that's just me personally. So eventually, I think I'm gonna want to have another room here. Another production room here. But for now, I'm just gonna leave that be, and I'm actually going to build another restroom. Because basically, this is the strategy I use. I'm not sure if it's what everyone does. It's hard to find out because there's really not a lot of gameplay on this game, on YouTube at least, which really disappoints me because this is one of my favorite games and I absolutely love to play it. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of gameplay, so my prediction is it's best to have one restroom for every 2 people. And even though I only have 3 people working right now, once I get my second one, I'm just going to need a restroom anyway, so I'm just going to build it right now. And I'm probably just going to end up filling these with employee rooms once I need more. And as you get going, some buildings, like this for example, there's a thing called sustainability, and I mean, you've probably heard this term before, but in this game it means a building that is big enough to actually be able to produce and sell itself. So a lot of rooms, like this one, cannot. This one, you might be able to sell from, I'm actually not sure. When I take that one over, I'm probably just going to leave that as is, because I can use this as a training facility, and it's already set up for that, except I would replace this with a restroom. You have to have a restroom in any building where people are actually working, but don't bother if you're not actually going to send anyone there. Like, if I took this thing, I'd probably just build an employee room there, maybe get rid of one or both of the banks and build employee rooms there. And I don't need a restroom for that because I'm never going to have anyone there. Okay, so I'm at 4,600 now. So I'm going to slow it back down and make my next purchase, which is going to be, actually going to be 2 things. First, it's going to be the training room, which you can use to increase the health and damage of people. And I'm going to talk to you a bit more about that in a second. And then the next thing I'm going to purchase is the heal room, which it's pretty self-explanatory. It even looks like a hospital bed. You just send people there. If they're low on HP, they'll generate. This you mainly will be using for soldiers, but there is another thing. I'm surprised I actually haven't gotten one of these yet. But there is something called a bad trip, and of course it's actually a real thing. People die from taking drugs. That's why it's dangerous. But customers have a bad trip. They don't exactly die. I think sometimes they do, but most of the time they just kind of lose their shit and start attacking your dealers. So occasionally you'll see bad trip like up here in the notification center, and then your dealers will either be dead or they'll lose a bit of health, and you can just send them down there. It's a bit complicated because trying to stop customers from going here means you have to get rid of the dealer, and to do that is actually really complicated. So, yeah, I'd like to just let them die and just get more. It's easier for me that way. I'm gonna go back into fast forward mode and get back up to get another $500 and I'll be good. Because the next purchase I am making is going to be very, very hefty. Even though it's a person. So I guess checking my phone real quick. So I'm almost there. 4415, 4490, one more and I'll be good. Okay, so there we go. The next thing I'm buying is Germani, who you can look at his stats. Let's just compare him to Elizabeth. He's only got 4 more HP, which isn't that much. Mendel has more than that. That's because his main characteristic is health, as you can see here. But he has 11.8 damage, which is more than both of these. So, when you want soldiers, this is typically what you want to buy. You can mix in some of these people if you want tanks. But honestly, they're not that useful in this game. So I'm going to buy Germani, and I'm going to send him down to the training room. I'm actually going to make another purchase because I just now noticed this, and I probably should have been keeping better track. Actually, I'm going to make 2 more purchases. So, I don't play the most efficient way. You could obviously do it so that I'm just going to haul all of this out. And I was actually wrong. You do it, or at least I will probably end up using all of this space eventually. But, I don't play that efficiently. I like to have a set layout, which means sometimes even if I have, empty space, like up here, I'll hollow out areas for stuff. Because, I don't know, I really like having a very organized basement. And I like to organize other stuff, but it's not as crazy. So what am I trying? Oh, right. And then I'm going to hire Michelle. And Michelle here is going to wait until I buy another employer. I'm really derping up right now. I don't know why, but I am. I'm going to buy Michelle. She's going to go help out Jordan with creating some product. And then, in a second, I'm actually just going to fast forward for a really long time and get a ton of money. And I think I'm going to wrap up the episode pretty soon. So, yep, so they're going to go ham, and eventually they're going to be, way overproducing. And when that happens, when you have, a full storage, because your dealers aren't selling faster than your 2 producers, which it's always going to happen. There's no way around it. It's always going to happen. As you can see, they're already way overproducing. And when that happens, I fire one of my producers. I leave the room there because eventually, just like what happened already, it's going to go back down to around here. And then I'm going to want to make more product. And then I just hire a new person. I don't know if that's the most money efficient way. As I mentioned earlier, I can't really get gameplay from anyone else to kind of round my strategies. And yep, so that's pretty much it for today. I'm at 3,300. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys, and I will see you in the next episode.